Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is part of the Look for Less challenge, where we should find a high-end decor piece that we really like and recreate it for way less. Yami over at the Latina Next Door hosts this channel monthly, and every month she has a different co-host. This month her co-host is Lianep from DIY Beauty on Purpose. Both of these ladies are very talented, great DIYers, and I'm gonna have their channels linked in the description box as well as the playlist. Now let's go on to my projects. I saw this beautiful family sign over at kirklands.com. While it's very beautiful, of course the price is out of my price range, and I decided to recreate a smaller version of it. So the first thing I did, I took these paint stir sticks from Lowe's. They come 3 in a pack for 98 cents, and I'm gonna be using 2. I'm gonna cut them with my miter saw right over where that curvy part starts. After cutting both of these, I'm going to sand with my sandpaper edges just to make it straight and smooth. After I was done sanding both sides, I took my pieces, put them together, and I took craft stick, large craft stick, cut it in 3 pieces, and I am going to use my Gorilla Wood Glue to attach it to my 2 boards just to keep it in place. Now I did leave very little space between those 2 boards, as you can see over here. That's how it is in a picture as well. And now I left this to dry because I had plenty of time, so I didn't want to mix hot glue with the wood glue. I wanted just the wood glue to keep it very sturdy. And now I'm using these letters. I showed them in one of my previous videos. I got this on a yard sale, the whole bag for 50 cents. And I'm sure you can find these on in any craft store. I'm going to paint them with this black acrylic paint, or actually it is a pavement dark gray, almost black. I paint them completely front and all the sides. Now, if you cannot find these type of letters and you would like to create this type of project, you can certainly find any other kind of letters that you can find in craft stores, or you can stencil it, trace it on a cardboard, or any kind of cardstock paper, whatever you can find will work. Now I'm taking this cookie sheet from the Dollar Tree, the pan, and since it's aluminum, it is perfect for this project. I'm cutting it in pieces that I measure up. It's going to be perfect for my letters. And since these have this kind of design on them, I took my wooden or actually plastic spoon and just straightened that out. I'm showing you over here how I did it. If you're doing this, just make sure to be careful you don't cut yourself. I'm using the white, the pavement, and light gray acrylic paint to create that galvanized look like it was on a picture, or actually on an inspiration piece. Now, my sheet pan that I used was actually shiny, and the inspiration piece was more matte. So I decided to use more of the light gray first, and then I just dabbed a little bit of darker gray, pavement, and white. And this is how all of them turned out after they were done and after they were dry. Now I'm taking my letters because they're completely dry, and I'm dabbing just a little bit of white acrylic paint on the corners like it was on an inspiration piece. By now, my board is completely dry now, and I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint in a color mineral, and I am going to give it one pretty thick coat And after that was dried, I took this folk art wood tint that I got actually from Joann's, and I decided to go over this board. Now, it didn't make a huge difference, but it just gave it a little bit of depth that I was looking for. And also, while this tint was still wet, I went ahead and used this Waverly chalk paint in the color Truffle with my chippy brush, and I kind of distressed it, but since it was still wet, it didn't really look like distressed. It blended in, and it gave that grain look that I was looking for. So now I lined up my galvanized pieces, and I'm using all-purpose glue together with a hot glue to attach all of them to my board. I made sure to leave this to dry enough so it doesn't move. And after that, I am doing the same thing with my letters, using the same two glues to glue it onto this galvanized piece. After all the letters were glued in place, it was time to take a marker. I have this marker that has fine tip and the wider tip, so I took the fine tip and just mimicked the nails again like it was on an inspiration piece. After that, this project was done. This is how my project turned out. I absolutely love this sign. It is very beautiful. It fits perfectly into my decor, and I really think I made it look like an inspiration piece. So I'm going to show you now how I did. For this, I spent a little bit less than $1, but let's say it was $1. And the inspiration piece was $54.99, even though it was a little bit bigger, still a great savings. And now I wanted to introduce myself for all of you that are new to my channel. I'm Jelena, I'm stay-at-home mom of 2 kids, and I love doing DIYs. I really hope you guys will check out my other videos. Hope you will like them, and I hope you will consider subscribing to my channel. It is completely free, and make sure to click on notification bell on so you don't miss any of my future updates. Also, if you are on a social media, I would like for you to look for me. I am on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. And now I'm looking at my second project. I found this cute barrel planter from Etsy. It was very, very beautiful, and it was $34.99. So I tried to recreate it for way less. Now, first thing I did, I took these craft sticks, again from Lowe's. They're 98 cents, and they come 30 in a pack. I think I took 14, if I correct, and I dipped them in lukewarm water for some time. I think it was maybe an hour, until they're very soft enough to be bent. I put them in one of my cooking pans. As you can see over here, I wanted them to bend just a little bit, and I left them outside to dry. After they were completely dried, this is how they looked like, and I decided to cut the tip, the round tip, so I wanted the straight edges on all of them. I used my just regular scissors to cut it. It was very easy. After all of them were cut, I set them up down like this, and then I used this tape from the Dollar Tree to tape the bottom and to tape the top to keep it in place. And I also did that from the inside as well. So I flip it over, and I did it from the inside to make sure everything stays in place. After that, I just took both sides, and like so I rounded up and glue it together. Now I'm taking my brown craft paint, watered it down, and I'm going over these craft sticks. I'm just creating kind of a stain effect on them, and on some spots I did a little more dry brushing just to give it dimension. Now, after all this was done, I left it to dry, and now I took the same tape from the Dollar Tree, and I took two pieces and I overlapped them. I wanted to have a thicker tape, and now I'm painting it with a mixture of pavement craft paint and a brown acrylic paint, and I left that to dry. I also created two of these thicker ones, and one piece I cut it in half lengthwise, so that will create two very narrow ones. So now I am going to attach that to the top and the bottom of this little barrel. So on the top I am and the bottom I am attaching the wider ones, and in the middle I'm going to attach the narrow ones. As you can see over here, I am using a hot glue gun. Even though this is a tape, I wanted to make sure it stays in place. Now I have to tell you, I had a little trouble doing this project. Even though I really like the inspiration piece and I wanted to really do it, I think at the end it turned out pretty good. Not quite as an inspiration piece, but I still wanted to show you how it can turn out really cute and it can be a great decor piece. So now I'm taking these kind of like pins with a rounded top. I got that off of Wish, but I know Dollar Tree carries them, and I cut off that pin part, the needle part, and I am hot gluing them two in each row where two tapes overlap, just to create kind of like detail, same like on an inspiration piece. And when I glued all of them, I took the same brown paint that I used earlier, and I am just dry brushing it a little more because I wanted it to have a little bit more dimension. And I'm also going over these pins as well. Now I'm dry brushing from the inside just a little bit on top, maybe inch or two, because that is going to be visible. And after that, this project is complete. Now, like I said, I do really like how this turned out. I think it looks great. It is a great modern farmhouse decor piece, and I think it looks really good with my first project. I know it is not quite like an inspiration piece, but I did my best, and I want to hear what you guys think. And this piece cost me less than $1, but I'm going to say it was $1. And the original one was $34.95. So again, I think I did pretty good saving money on this, but I want to hear what you think and which one of this was your favorite. If you like this video, as always, please give it a thumbs up. It means so much to me, and please subscribe. I would love to have you. Don't forget to check out the playlist link in the description box to see all the other participants and what they came up with. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.